Hey guys, we're back. Welcome to episode 11 of Chasing Green Arrows, Fantasy Premier League Edition. Sorry we were not there for the last 2 weeks. We got really busy with COVID. It's this disease that came up recently. Anyways, uh, first thing I want to say is I hope Jimenez recovers and plays again. Honestly, I'm a Madrid fan, and he used to play in Atletico Madrid, and he was really bad there. And I was happy to see him come to Atletico Madrid because I was like, oh, this guy's just gonna be the striker, and he won't do anything to Real Madrid, and we'll be safe. And then when he went to Wolves, I'm like, oh, okay, whatever. And he started playing so well, and I really love the way he plays. He doesn't have the speed, he doesn't have all those, the FIFA stats that you want to see in a player, which is speed, strength, but he has intelligence and one of the most intelligent players I ever watched as a striker. I really admire him. He scored like plus 15 goals the last 2 or 3 seasons. If I'm not, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. And he assists and he plays in a side that plays counterattack, so it's all relied on him. And I really just wanted to pay tribute to him. And I'm not trying to say he's done playing or anything, but I really hope he comes back. One of my favorite players in the Premier League and most respected players for me, just because of how he uses his intelligence to play football. So put him in your team next week. Okay, don't, because he's injured. So if you look at game week 11, this week looks like a very strong week for Man City, for Chelsea, for Spurs, and we'll go over the other teams. But I wanted to note out those teams first. Man City have been slowly coming back to their ways. They won 5-0, a great performance by the whole team. De Bruyne, Mahrez, Torres, Ferran Torres, Jesus, all the front uh, midfielders and strikers performed really well. And it was the old Man City that we know. Not very old, but you know what I mean. And the XG, expected goals, was back there. I think it was 4, even though they scored 5, but that's huge. Playing a team like Burnley, who I expected it would be a 1 or 2-1 win for City. Very strong team at the back. Maybe not so much this year, but they still managed to hold it down. And City ended up winning 5-0. So they're playing Fulham this week, and although Fulham just beat Leicester, I don't think it will make a difference, and I think City are going to do another 5-0. So if you have the means for it and you have some free transfers, I would highly advise to go for City players: De Bruyne, Mahrez, and probably De Bruyne, Mahrez, and Walker. Those are the three I would pick out, mainly because Mahrez didn't is on form and he didn't play in the Champions League, so I expect him to start. And De Bruyne too did not play in the Champions League, and I expect him to start. And both of them assists and goals, very good. They have United the week after that, but after that they have another easy game. They have West Brom at home, another relegation battling team. So it's a good team to invest in. A quick caveat before going into next week's teams is I'm sure you all know that Newcastle versus Aston Villa has been postponed due to COVID. And I actually think, I have a feeling that there's been rumors, not just my feeling, but there's been rumors that they might reschedule it for Thursday, which is before game week 12. So that it might be back to game week 11. So if you have any players from Villa or Newcastle, I would start them in the team, start them in my team, and if they don't play, they get substituted by your whoever your subs are. But if they do play, they play. So don't rush into taking them out unless you have a lot of players and you need to take them out to fit out a full 11. Okay, go for that. With that out of the way, Burnley versus Everton is the first game of this week. Everton looked like they're kind of back, although they lost to Leeds. Uh, it's a tough one, this game. We don't really know what the score is going to be. It could be a 0-0, it could be a 1-1. if you have your Calvert Lewin, I'd suggest keep him for one more week and reassess next week. Not sure who they play, but it's one of those games where it's probably low scoring. Man City Fulham, we talked about that. West Ham United, very good game coming up, I'm sure. West Ham on form, and so is United, although they lost to PSG in the Champions League. United have been very up and down. They win 5-0, they lose 5-0, they win 5-0. Not really, but you know what I mean. It's very hard to predict them. But one thing you know is Bruno Fernandes. Oh my God. This guy is so annoying. He's just scores every penalty. Even a penalty, he missed a penalty, so like the FPL headquarters were like, okay, the goalie did something wrong, retake it. So he can score it. Fernandez is so you need to have him in your team. Don't give him time. Put him in your team. Uh, he's just gonna keep scoring, whether it's a penalty or a free kick or a normal crazy goal or a tap in. He's just a great player. Like very, I really highly rate him. Uh, he's gonna be a huge point getter at the end of the season. I think he's gonna be top. If you can bring him in, you can wait, maybe. I always say wait with Fernandez and then he ends up like messing me up. But if he's not priority in my team because I have a lot of issues, I'm not even going to get into my team because of how bad it is now. But Bruno has City next week and then the week after that it becomes clear again. But you never know. They might beat City, they lose to West Ham. He's always on the score sheet. Even against Spurs when they lost 6-1, he scored a penalty. The guy will get you points. Forget about how good or bad United are. He's exceptional. West Ham's players, Antonio is back. That's great news. People seem to probably forgot about him. I think you wait one week, and if you want to replace Calvert Lewin, he's a good person to replace. I think he's highly underlooked. Chelsea Leeds, that's going to be a great game. Leeds, what a team, man. Like, they might not have been getting the results that will light people's eyes up, but man, are they just such an attacking team. What a team to watch. Like, I have Bamford in my team, and although he's playing Chelsea away, I'm kind of confident he'll score uh, or get an assist or something. He's just, honestly, such I mean, okay, I'm getting carried away. He's a good player, but Leeds is just such a good attacking team. That guy Rafinha who scored, I think it was one of his first starts of the season. That was a great goal by him, and he played pretty well. So I think he's one person to watch in that team. As for Chelsea, oh, Olivier Giroud, oh my God. Honestly, this is another guy I highly respect. Him and Jimenez. These two guys don't have pace, but they have intelligence, and that's something I really respect because it's very underlooked in our community these days. FIFA, you buy a game like FIFA or you play Ultimate Team, you won't pick Giroud, you won't pick Jimenez because they're just they don't fit the meta. But in real life, they just have that intelligence, that pass, that finishing technique. And Giroud, speaking about this guy now, what a super hat trick he got yesterday, was it? Yeah, against Sevilla away. Like when you need the guy, he performs like he hasn't even been getting any starts, and then he gets 4 goals. I actually have never seen that before. Like someone so patient knows how good he is, but he just sits on the bench and waits for his opportunity, and he takes it. Last season, don't forget, last season, Tammy went injured, uh, and then he started not performing well, and Giroud took his place, and he would get a goal every game. There was a stat, I think, like 6 games in a row where he got a goal. Arsenal shouldn't have let him go. Um, he's a class player in my opinion. He really is one of the underlooked Chelsea superstars. I would call him that. He got them the Europa League that one season where he scored 2 goals against Arsenal in the final, and he got them through the group stage as first place. He scored a last minute goal last week against Krasnodar, and or Rennes, I forgot who. And this week he scored 4 goals against Sevilla away. Okay, enough about Giroud. Chelsea, Chilwell, class. Reece James, class. These guys will get you assists. They'll get you clean sheets. I think ever since they signed Mendy, Chelsea have been solid at the back and forward. Lampard is truly showing He's a proper manager. I see Chelsea going far this season and even challenging for the title. West Brom, Crystal Palace. You know those games where you're just like, why do these games exist? Okay, no, that's too harsh. But I just don't see it being a nice game to watch, nor a nice game to own players from. Except if you own like a Palace defender, they might get a clean sheet. But you never know with these games. One guy scores and it becomes a 1-1, two own goals, no one gets points. It's just one of those, you know. But there is one player from West Brom, this guy called Gallagher. He's one of those guys that's been at the club for ages. I don't know if he actually was, but you look at him and you're like, oh, he's one of those guys, and he's performing well. Man. He scored a goal last week to win the game for West Brom, and the week before that he performed really well. I watched their match against Spurs. They lost, but he was great in that game. Okay, going on to the next game. Sheffield Leicester. Honestly, I don't know. Like Leicester just lost to Fulham. It's been one of those years where you have no idea what's going on. Like I still expect him to win, and if you have Vardy and City Leicester players, keep them. They'll probably win this game a good 3-0. So it's one of those games to have your players from. Easy game for Leicester, in my opinion. Spurs Arsenal. Arsenal, yeah, it's just one of those times where they're like in that state where they're just not doing well and their mentality is just down, and they have injuries, and the manager's getting fans all over him, and Arsenal just they get into that hole and they just keep going down, and they start not performing well. I see this as a Spurs win. I think a comfortable 2-0 win. If you own Spurs attackers, keep them. They'll do well this game, in my opinion. I think Gareth Bale will get a start if Harry Kane is actually injured. If not, I think he has to play. He hasn't played for 2 games straight, and I think he will punish Arsenal defenders with his pace and just eagerness to do well against Arsenal. And I heard a rumor that since lockdown's over in the UK, they're gonna start allowing fans. So this is gonna be a derby with I think 2,000 fans only. It's gonna be quite interesting to watch 2,000 fans like shouting at each other. I don't know how true that is, but we'll see. Liverpool Wolves. I think with the news of Jimenez, Wolves might be a bit low and morale wise, and I think it's a comfortable win for Liverpool. Jota, oh my God, Jota, he's gonna he's gonna get a goal against Wolves. This stuff always happens. It's written in the stars, as they say. Like the player who leaves always ends up scoring against them. He's gonna do that celebration. It's just like it's all written, man. You're gonna see Jota's gonna score, and then he's gonna not celebrate, and then he's gonna get points for people who have him. What a player! Salah, Jota, and Robertson. Those are the 3 guys from Liverpool. I have them, and I think they're the best performers to have. Wolves, though, could challenge if their morale is if they want to perform for Raul. They do have Pedro Neto, and Podence, who are performing so well this season. Really, filling in the spot that Jota and Traore left. Even though Traore is still in the team, he's just not performing well anymore. So these 2 guys have been killing it, in my opinion. So uh, have them in your mind for the next following game weeks. Brighton Southampton, gonna be a good game. My boy Lamptey's back, and unfortunately I don't have him in my team because I had to get rid of him last week because of the red card. Watch this be a Lamptey hat trick game. I'm gonna regret selling him, but Lamptey is gonna do well. I can tell you. In terms of Southampton, they have Adams, their goalie, McCarthy, Kyle Walker, Peters, even James Ward-Prowse, who scores every free kick that comes his way. It's gonna be a good game. Probably, hopefully, like a nice 2-2, enjoyable game to watch. For my captain pick this week, it's a tough one. For me, it's between Salah and Kane, since I have them. But the players that I don't have, I think the guy to captain this week is Kevin De Bruyne. It's his week to shine. Fulham. I think he'll perform well. So if you have him, go for him. If not, since Kane is not 100% starting, I'll go for Salah. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and I hope it helps you for next week. And let's hope and wish Jimenez comes back on the field, because he's a great player, and just because he's a good guy. All right, take care, guys.